Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Stockport. The Premier League is a bloody tough league, that is what I will say. The last episode against Leicester, I think we were good value for the point on the night, but it definitely opened up my eyes to some of the concerns about our tactics and stuff, and I've basically spent the off-camera time implementing a sort of third tactical option for us, so we've really got some flexibility in the tactics this year, and I think that's going to help us because in the lower leagues, you can kind of play a one-size-fits-all tactic, and it'll work for the most part because the skill gap is relatively small. Premier League, though, the difference between top and bottom in this league is so huge that you do have to take a different approach. And that's what I tried to do against Manchester City, and the results were kind of interesting on that one. So we'll come on to that in a minute. But before we do that, it's Regen Sunday. I know it's Monday, but yesterday was the transfer episode, and there was no way in hell I was going to be able to fit in Regen Sunday on that day as well. So here are some of the favourite regens that you guys have dumped into the Discord chat this week. And of course, if you want to take part, then head over to Discord, join the server, and of course there is a channel where you can dump your regens in there and people will tell you how brilliant they are, basically. So let's have a look. First up, there's Toto. I chose him purely because of his name. It's a shame he's not African, really. That would have been the ultimate icing on the cake there. Next up, we've got centre-back Lucas Polanski, a pretty decent-looking Czech centre-back, particularly as a 16-year-old. He looks like a beastly player, particularly with those physicals. That'll definitely help him in the long run. Then there's this guy. This is Safiso Baloyi. This guy is a monster. 17 heading, 19 marking, 17 tackling, 6'2", and those physicals. If we had a player like this in our team right now, I would be very much more confident. And it's playing for Midtjylland too, which is even cooler. And lastly, again, because of the name, I had to include him. It's Libero. Can't ever feel like he's playing in the wrong position. But yeah, send me your regens, and I'm sure they will hopefully make it into Regen Sunday. We had so many this week, I had to sort of trim it down a little bit. But I picked based on name and stats and all kinds of other stories. If you've got an interesting story about them too, do tell me. Now, I've been doing a little bit looking about the league in the Premier League for the past sort of 6 seasons of the save, just to see what sort of points total we need to be looking at in terms of staying up. Because that is, after all, the aim this year. And I can say that completely legitimately without us, we're going to come 8th. No, we're not. No, we're not. I'm taking every game as we come. I might even make one of those Excel spreadsheets where I look at the games we've got and look at how many points we should be taking from each game and to see if we're on track, basically. I might have to do that. I know someone made one. I want to find it. But I looked at the average points needed to stay up, i.e. the team that went down 1 point above that I took as the average needed to stay up. Obviously, some teams got more than that, but you know what I mean. And the average was 33.8 points. So 40 points obviously is always the aim. But if we were to just get 35, no team I think got relegated. I think the highest points total to get relegated was 35. So if we can get 36 or 37 points this year, I think that's where we're aiming for. Here's how Booty convinced Okoro to ignore Hoffenheim's offer. You're going to like this. This is a tale as old as time. Regan entered the changing rooms after a training session with an 80s boombox and proceeded to tell everyone to get the hell out, then blasted some US rap and started twerking to it. I mean, yeah, obviously. John couldn't stand the beauty of the booty, so did Bruno Bridges, who was hiding in a corner. We need to get him his Premier League appearance soon. I'm a changed man were the first words of John upon leaving the room. Bruno Bridges was found 2 hours later in the dressing room, looking in the distance with teary eyes. I've seen real beauty. I've seen the shake of the booty. I'm in the weird part of YouTube again. No. This whole thing is the weird part of YouTube. Let's face it. And oh my lord, it was so close to being an absolute brilliant result. I could not believe this. Like, they took the lead through Petra. Now, I did change the tactic, and I've played 2 DMs in this tactic, and I'll show you what I did. But basically, it limited them and meant that the long shots weren't really possible. However, they did still score one. Pietro Pellegrini's goal was so annoying because he was in between like 5 players, because there was the 2 DMs, 2 centre-backs, and the fullback, and he still managed to get the long shot away, and it went straight into the bottom corner. Very, very frustrating to go down an early goal, but it was Manchester City. I was expecting us to lose. I just wanted to keep the scoreline down. That being said, Dimitrov went down the wing on 27 minutes, whipped a ball in, and there on the end of it was Piero Bollino to equalise and score for Stockport against our big rivals Manchester City. That was a huge moment, and it's great to see the lad get an assist off the bench in the last game and scoring a goal on his league debut start today. Great crossing from Dimitrov. He just slid in with the defender and got a touch on it first. Great stuff. For the rest of the game, we were kind of just defending against City. They had plenty of chances, as you would expect. But then we got a corner. The ball was taken to the edge of the box for Puimal, who whipped it across. And there, for some, I don't even know why he was there, at the far post, like in sort of the penalty area, but not really in the penalty area, was Craig Palmer, who had brought off the bench. He hit it full on the volley and scored the goal that put us in front against Manchester City with 15 minutes to go. I was elated. Bear in mind, Craig Palmer was on loan at Barnet last season, and now, I think it was Barnet, and now he's scoring in the Premier League against Manchester City. What a story for that lad. Unfortunately, just like the Leicester game, directly from the kickoff, they whipped a ball in and we gave away a penalty. Like, insta highlight, insta goal straight away for the second game in a row. Is it a concentration issue or is that just FM these days? Bit annoying, but back to 2-2, and I thought, you know what? If we get a 2-2 draw against Man City, that would be phenomenal. And then it happened. 93rd minute, we get a breakaway. We have a 4-on-3 break. The ball is eventually slipped through for Craig Palmer. He goes round the goalkeeper and then hits the post. He went round the goalkeeper and hit the post. The City then pick the ball up, go down the other end, and Pietro Pellegrini scores the winner. We could have and should have scored the winner at one end and to make it 3-2, and eventually we end up conceding the winner at the other end. Such a disappointing game, but the fact is we only lost 3-2 at home to Manchester City and could have won the match, and that says a lot to me. And that leaves the league looking like this. Yes, I know we're 15th, but we've played Manchester City at home and Leicester away. So I'm alright with that. And our goal difference is only -1, which is most importantly. West Ham down at -10 already. Newcastle down on -9. Well, you know that Fulham lost 7-1 to Liverpool. Well, Newcastle lost 8-1 to Tottenham. So there's a lot of goals being scored in the Premier League towards the upper stages. And the fact that we only lost 3-2 to City, I'm very pleased with that. So this is what I switched to. All I did was I pushed the two centre mids back into the DM slot. We kept the deep line playmaker on support. Obviously, Andy Davison couldn't play there, so Puimal played there in the last game. And we changed the other role to a Segunda Volante, who essentially just is a deeper lying box-to-box type of player. There's more roles than that, but that's essentially what I was suggested to try and do. That way, we still have players getting forward because it's a support role and an attacking role from defensive players, but it means that when we don't have the ball, they sit much, much closer and they close down that gap much better. And I think Davidson, despite not being that comfortable in the DM side of role, he's a very good defensive midfielder when he plays in the midfield, so he should be able to do that role quite nicely, and it just leaves us a little bit less in trouble. So I think what we're going to try and do is start like this, but we can change things if we want to, because it is away from home. We're going to try and be a bit more defensively solid if we can, and we still scored 2 goals in the last time playing like this. So moving some stuff around again. Gribben's back, Borlina there, Miller is back now, which is nice because Niall Ennis had to play against City, which probably didn't help. Dimitrov is back, Gray there, and also Morgan Roussel can make his debut for us as well, the 16-year-old Frenchman. He's finally back from international duty. Is who I really want. I think I might have put Makengo in instead, just because he's not back to full fitness yet. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with. Borlina, Miller, Gribben, Okoro, Booty, Puimal. Is Davison back? He's not, is he? See, Booty's really our only sort of defensive midfielder at the moment, and that's, if I was going to do this, I wish I'd signed players. Honestly, I think I'd rather have Nemanja Boskovic start this game, to be honest. Honestly, I'm going to take the risk and not put a substitute goalkeeper because I just think we want more outfield options. So we're going to go with Zimaria, Roussel, Puimal, I really want to know how to pronounce that name, Law, Kubat, Turil, and Fazic on the bench, so we can switch things around if we have to on the fly. And of course, if we find that isn't really working against Stoke, then we can switch things up now. I want to have options, you know, real changes rather than just little tweaks. Right then, let's go for it. It's the Monday night game on TV, on Sky Sports 1 and whatnot, or whatever it is these days, Premier League, and a good tackle from Dimitrov. Headed away, but it's going to come to Boskovic on the edge here. He might be able to get a shot, or maybe not. Kaniski, edge of the box, go on, slip it through. Booty puts it wide. Imagine Regan Booty scoring in the Premier League. Uh-oh, Mayer's free kick. Oh my God. Lovro Mayer's free kick. Stoke's first shot on target, and they lead here at the Bet365 Stadium. They've not even had an attack that we've seen yet, and now they've scored from a free kick. You just can't stop it. We've considered a few more fouls here, but okay, so 1-0 to Stoke from that free kick at half time. We've not had enough shots, we've not had any shots on target, and I think we need to go a bit more attacking in the second half to try and pull this one out. Like, we really should still just be 0-0, and that would be fine, but we need to sort something out. So the question is, do we go to full attacking, or do we move to this? I feel like this one is probably a better bet for now because we're a goal down, and it would require less personnel changes too. In fact, it would require no personnel changes, which is why I like this idea. What's the bet we concede a long shot? Oh my God, another one. All of Stoke's shots that we've seen have been free kicks so far. We are conceding a lot of fouls at the moment. Not quite. That's it. That's it. Patience now. We've got men in support for once. Oh, what a ball! Okoro! What a save from Butland there. John Okoro with the best chance of the match so far. We're only 8 minutes into the second half and we've already had a good chance. We're already looking much, much better to start this second half. This is the issue. When they get in these positions, every time! It's 2-0 to Stoke. I have no words anymore. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't anymore. Unless you literally put 3 players in front of the back 4, they will just score time and time again from bloody long shots. It's 2-0 to Stoke and we're Come on, lads. Let's see something here. They've scored a free kick and a long shot. Not that's a huge shock anyway. Turil, come on, let's have a long shot of our own. Puimal, slip it in. Here we go. Dimitrov, ball across. Oh, what a save from the goalkeeper. We've had the best chances in this match. It goes without saying. It should kind of go without saying, but I feel like on another day we win this match, and that's disappointing as all hell. They created nothing. Literally. They had a free kick and a long shot, and they've both gone in. And you start to get to the point where you think, what can you do? You stop one thing, and then another thing's just... oh well. We didn't take our chances in this match as well, though. We should have had 2 goals. Like, that's the thing. We didn't score them, and that is a problem that needs to be worked on. And that's now another defeat. It's only 2-0, but we should have been doing better than that. We've got Spurs next as well. Not looking good to start with here. In hindsight, looking at the way that game went, I think we might have been better off in the second half moving over to the original one with the single DM and the 2 centre mids, because we'd be able to control the centre of the park and we'd still have a screen of a single player, which I think would have probably been enough there, and then maybe the rest of the tactic would have taken care of itself there because we wouldn't have had players in the key areas. I think that's maybe what we should have done against teams that play like that. Need to be a little bit more careful, but still, I think we deserved a point from the game against Stoke. To be honest, we created the 2 best chances of the match and just could not take them. This, however, is a game we come into with no hope of getting anything from it. We've had a really rough start with 3 away games and only 1 home game, and it was against Manchester City. So, you know, our position might be a little bit false at the moment. We're not looking too bad still. Bizer is actually fit enough to start the match, amazingly, so we might well go with him and give him a run out here against Spurs. Maybe if it's only half an hour, but he's just that bit better. So I think we're going to go with Bizer, Miller, Gribben, Okoro, Booty, Puimao, and putting him back in because he actually did quite well against City, and Boskovic didn't really do that great. Dimitrov, Roussel, Makengo, and Katic Kaninski. So a fully new back 4 for us, essentially, and Malden in goal. I want to give Roussel a chance here. You know, he's 16 years old, but I feel like he's worthy of a start now. Plus, I think John Gray is just a little bit knackered. I don't really know. We'll see. So on the bench, we're going to go with Zimaria, Grimshaw, Toril, Bolina, Gray, Fazic, and Kubat. Just so that we've got options to move into that midfield if we need to. Gonna be tough. We know that. Like, we've got to accept that some of these games are just pure hit and hope. But, you know, we're going to have some of those. You know, every team does. Down at the bottom anyway. We've really worked on defensive positioning in training this week to make sure we've got the best possible chance of keeping the goals down. That's the real key for us here. Okay, 22 minutes, and it's the first highlight of the game. We've kept this game pretty nullified for now. Gribben's got the ball, though. Here we go. Maybe a chance to spread it. Puimao. Got to look out wide for Okoro, surely. Please. Makengo. We had a chance to get the ball away there, and for some reason, we just didn't play the pass. Arzani's all the way through. Lato. Goal from the edge of the area. Why didn't he play the pass? It wasn't going to get cut out, and now Spurs have got a goal. Tony Lato from the left-back spot. That's all our own fault as well. Completely our fault. I don't know why he didn't play the pass. He just chose not to. It's well headed away, but I say it's not a long shot, but it's just allowed to run all the way through. I suppose it is Spurs away. What were we expecting? Makengo. It's not like we're on short passing. See, now you play the pass when we don't want it. Eriksson. Out wide for Arzani again. Doesn't stop the cross. Davidson. He's gone a bit too deep. He's going to square it, isn't he? They're going to square it. Oh my god! Kensuke Maruyama with the goal. It's a Japanese player. 2 shots on target for Spurs, and they've scored both of them in the space of 2 minutes, and now we're 2-0 down here at New White Hart Lane. It's just our own mistakes as well. Davison drops it short. There's 3 players here. How are we not defending that? How? It should have hit one of them. Spurs admittedly do have a slightly different game plan to what we're used to. Arzani, like, they're not actually trying to play through that central channel. No shots in the first half of the match at all, and they scored 2 in 2 minutes. It's not good, is it? I think maybe moving to this system might not be the worst idea in the world. Maybe getting Gribben off for Kuba and trying that. But it pushes us up the field a little bit, and it still provides a screen. We just couldn't string 2 passes together. The centre-backs were just not passing the ball out, even when there was a completely obvious opportunity to just slip it into someone. It's not looking good. We might not actually get a single shot in this match if we carry on at this rate. But again, I would just like to try and keep the scoreline down. He's going to drive at us, so just get your blocks in, lads. We've got everybody behind the ball at the moment. Oh my god. Oh, for goodness sake. Now it's a penalty to Spurs as well, which they will score. Eriksson steps up. Saved by Louis Malden. We've actually limited Spurs to very few really good chances in this match, but it's just not been enough because we've offered nothing. Oh, we've had a shot, apparently. That's it. Kubat actually does get there. Slips it out for Bolina. Here we go. Is there a breakaway on, perhaps? One last chance for us to get a goal in this game. Bolina slips it through. It's all the way through, and Liam Miller saved! Bah, what a chance that was. Zimaria. Go on, get a good cross in, lad. Oh, yes! Piero Bolina gets one back. Tottenham 2, Stockport County 1. We are so close in matches to getting stuff at the moment, even against really decent teams. This was a bit fortunate, I must say. It's flicked here, comes to Bolina, and he scored another goal. That's 2 this season he's managed to get already. Fair play to the lad. And there we go. Spurs 2, Stockport 1. They did miss a pen in this game as well. It's one of those things where on another day, no, they still deserve to win the match, but we limited them. They didn't have like 5 clear-cut opportunities against us. We limited them to a few chances and they were able to take them. But again, we've kept the scoreline down against one of the best sides in the division, and I think that's going to be so important for us going forward. We're not losing 5 and 6-0 against these teams, you know? And we've had a really, really tough start. 4 matches played. We are sitting 17th. Of course, Newcastle do still have the 2 games in hand. I don't know why that's the situation it's in, and they are against Cardiff and Wolves. But we are looking a lot better than the likes of Huddersfield and West Ham at the moment in terms of goal difference particularly. And we have played Spurs and Man City so far, and we've had Stoke and Leicester away from home. So it's, yeah, I still think that we're doing okay so far. It's a tough old league, and we're going to be having to rely on getting a few better results, but keeping the scoreline down against the big sides is a big step in that direction. Our biggest defeat was against Stoke, for crying out loud. So I think next episode we might do West Ham away from home. In the meantime, we've got Newport County in the Cup, but then we've got home games against Palace and Wolves. I feel like they're both games where we should earmark to be picking up at least, I want 4 points from those matches to really sort of say, okay, it's going to be fine, guys. It's going to be fine. Then we got West Ham for the next episode away from home. That'll be tough, but it's definitely a game where we can go out and attack, I feel like. Anyway, if you have enjoyed this, I know we've lost 3 matches in a row, but I still think there's a lot of positives to be taken from the way we're playing at the moment. The stadium's now finished, so we're up to 12,500. That will help us. So yeah, if you've enjoyed it, drop a like on the video. That would be spectacular. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more videos. Hopefully where we pick up a win or 2 and just look a little bit more stable. That would be ideal. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.